Welcome to Mediocre Main Character. After the rush of matches and matrimony, I've decided to follow up with another Regency dating sim. This time, it's an indie mobile game called Regency Love. Apparently, it's also influenced by Jane Austen, so let's keep the good vibes going. Family name, let's randomize it. Hartwell sounds good to me. Our name is, of course, Mediocre, as always. And our nickname will be None. Can I do that? Yeah. Town. All delightful stories revolve around others, and so preoccupied you are with theirs that you do not notice stumbling upon your very own tale. As you arrive in the little town of Darlington, you encounter an air full of warm chatter and the scent of freshly baked bread while the sun shines overhead. A few of the townspeople smile when they see you before they return to their business and leave you to yours. You take a moment to survey the familiar people, the shops, the cobblestones. It's been too long since you felt so content. You see Mary approaching. She appears to be in very high spirits. Oh, that's nice. I guess she's a friend of ours. Dearest, it's so good to see you out and about, and in cheerful colors once more. Oh. Something tragic has happened to us, huh? Indeed, it's been an entire year. I believe it is now time to make a new start. I'm all about fresh starts. We all miss your father. Papa still reminisces about their decades of friendship. Oh. Does anything in particular bring you to town today, or are you just taking some air and stretching your legs? Well, our mom has sent us on an errand to send a letter. Addressed to your aunt? But I thought your mother and your aunt had always been at odds with each other. Interesting. I dare say I'm as baffled as you are. My attempts to pry any information from Mama were unsuccessful. Well, I suppose there must be some urgent business behind this. I hope all is well, for you deserve great happiness, my dear. Aw, you're lovely. I'm sorry to be in such haste, but I'm also running some errands, albeit for my sisters. I do hope we'll see each other again soon. Yeah, I can't wait, Mary. Mary has made a fair point about the enmity between your mother and your aunt. You look at the letter in your hands and wonder if anything is amiss. You are suddenly afraid ill has befallen your dear brother, who has been estranged from your family for years, and whom you've not seen since he left the household when you were a little girl. No. Oh, we need our older brother, though. He's the one who's going to inherit Papa's estate, right? You dispel your anxiety by reminding yourself that Mama would inform you of any news concerning your brother. Whatever lies within the letter cannot be of such an urgent nature. Determined now to complete your task, you make your way towards the post office window. If you hurry, you may be in time for the mail coach that departs at noon. However, you suddenly find yourself colliding with a stranger. Oh, pardon me, I'm terribly sorry, ma'am. Oh, we can be mean, or we can be aloof, or we can be kind. I'm gonna go with kind, especially because this guy looks like a dish. Mr. Graham, eh? In regimentals? The fault is not yours alone, as I had been lost in my thoughts. I'm equally to blame. You are too gracious, ma'am. That I am. Are you hurt? No, I'm not. How about you? You are too kind, ma'am, to ask after me after I caused such an inconvenience. I'm unscathed, save my pride. I do not wish to compound my offenses towards such a fair lady as yourself by keeping you from your business. Have a good day, ma'am. No bother at all, buddy. Thank you for being so amiable. Well, that's what I'm here for. Okay, I bet you he's a love interest. Town center. Ooh. You arrive at the postal window with enough time to spare. The postal clerk stamps your mother's letter with a pleasant smile, and you are relieved at having completed your task. There is still some time left before you must be home for tea. All right. Let's click on some people. You'll never guess what I saw the other day. Mary and Mr. Danfair. Our Mary? Good morning, Miss Hartwell. Oh, hello. Meow. That's cute. The cat's name is Lord Fat Cat. Oh, hi there, gentlemen. Who are you, nameless man? Miss Hartwell, it's good to see you. Ah, Miss Hartwell, I've not seen the likes of you for some time. She's so annoying looking, this lady, Mrs. Norris. How's your mother? I hope she's not still distraught by her father's passing, rest his soul. He's with the good Lord now and has found peace, which is of utmost importance, I'll have you know. Poor Mr. Norris is also with the good Lord, and oh, how it still brings tears to my eyes. Okay, it's a lot of talking. She's giving Mr. Collins vibes. One winter when our cart lost its wheel and was stranded on the road. Oh, God. Listen, lady. R.I.P. to your husband, but I don't want to read all this. I do not think the name Sam quite befits a horse. Mrs. Norris, I'm sorry for your loss. I'm gonna be mean. Why not? Have I been well? La la la. I once had a niece. Oh, she's just blabbering on. I gotta go. Oh, yes, am I keeping you? Do accept my apologies, my dear. Ah, but I've remembered. Did you know Mr. Worthington has returned to Darlington and with a gentleman in his company? A fine fellow from what I've heard, though I have not been personally acquainted with him, of course. Oh, yes, we all love handsome gentlemen, honey. Okay, you gotta go. Right, let's get out of here. Ooh, who is this? Why does his face look like this? So creepy. Mr. Digby, eh? My lovely Miss Hartwell, you are as fair today as a field of fair flowers. Ew. Bye. I don't know who you are, but get away from me. Okay. You follow the well-worn path with a light spring in your step. While you walk, your footsteps become drowned by another equally familiar sound. You find an unobtrusive spot beside the trail and step aside to allow for a horse and its rider to pass. Oh, hello, handsome. The stranger nods at you in thanks and continues on. Mr. Ashcroft. I think I need to keep a notebook. I need to remember all these people. So we met Mr. Graham in regimentals, an army fella, handsome AF. And now we've got a dashing, dapper gent on a horse, Mr. Ashcroft. We've also got a creepy-looking guy without a proper face, Mr. Digby, but let's ignore him for now. He's giving Collins vibes. Is this our house? Ooh, there's our mom. Wow, she looks so mean. That's quite on brand for Jane Austen, huh? Mediocre, where have you been? You've been gone almost half a day, and only to post a letter, no less. I'm gonna say I was lost in my thoughts, and no, she'll probably yell at us. I'm just gonna say it's been a while, and I got carried away. And while you were indulging yourself, I was worrying myself sick. But enough of that prattle. We are expecting guests very shortly, so hurry along, child, and make yourself presentable. I really don't like this toxic mom. Heavens, is that mud on your shoes? Go to, mediocre. It's only a little mud. Calm down. I suppose you're right, but I won't be fully calm until you're more presentable, so hurry along and change your attire. Fine. How curious. There are certainly a few new faces around Darlington. You managed to catch a glimpse of a handsome stranger in the woods as he passed by. Yeah, we did. Though he seemed to be in haste. You also managed to escape Mr. Digby's attentions. It's not that he's particularly disagreeable, but rather his conversation is a little dull. He is the Mr. Collins of this game. Okay, so we're gonna avoid him as much as possible. Interesting. Motivation. Okay, I think I get it. So these are our skills: dancing, drawing, music, needlework, reading, and writing. And apparently we're horrible at all of those things. What is this? Character traits. We're sensible, spirited, dutiful, eccentric. Really? And amiable. Amiable? I was so rude to Mrs. Norris. I like it. I like being a little sassy. What is this door? This is our home. Wait, let's see other stuff. Let's use this motivation. Can we do that? How do we do that? Oh, okay. Cool, cool. What do we want to improve? I mean, we're pretty bad at everything at this point. I'm gonna say let's focus on reading. No, we've done enough of that. In Matches and Matrimony, all we did was read all day. Let's draw. Yeah. Old friends. Father's old friends are visiting. Okay. Okay, we live in a really bougie house. Mr. and Mrs. Worthington, it's so lovely to see you both again. Ah, Mrs. Hartwell, it's been far too long. I trust you both found Europe to your liking? Yes, indeed. Mr. Worthington and I spent a great deal of time in Rome, which was much more temperate and most favorable. True then, true now. And you, Mrs. Hartwell? I cannot believe the last year has been easy on you with old Hartwell's passing. Please accept our late condolences. It's been a year. You guys only heard about it now? How long were you gone? Mr. Worthington and I are most apologetic for our delayed return. There we go. The Europeans are not so efficient with their post, despite the very detailed forwarding instructions we left. It was only 2 months ago that we finally received your letters. Oh, okay, fair enough, fair enough. Our mom's being so nice to them. Typical, right? She's mean to us, but she's nice to strangers or family friends. Oh, do not continue to trouble yourself with such thoughts. I thank you again for your prompt response and for your hasty return to England. Will you be staying long? Yes, Mrs. Worthington and I are both happy to be home, and this time for good. But alas, Darlington shall never be the same. Didn't Mrs. Norris tell us that Mr. Worthington's brought back a gentleman, a handsome one? Who could that be? Hartwell was indeed the dearest friend I ever had, and it saddens me deeply that he's no longer with us. But if I have counted correctly, today marks a new start, does it not? I see neither of you are sporting your mourning attire. Yes, you're quite right. A year and a day since Mr. Hartwell left us. And Miss Hartwell, how are you faring? I'm gonna be sensible. Oh, Mr. Worthington, I find myself in a flood of tears when I think of poor Papa. Take hold of yourself, child, and do remember propriety. No, I won't. The loss of a father deals a great blow from which one cannot fully recover. But take heart, dear Miss Hartwell, for Mr. Worthington and I are here for you should you need our counsel or assistance. They're so nice. Indeed, perhaps I would go further to say that I feel you are in my care now, Miss Hartwell. Given your father and I were the closest of friends, almost brothers, I feel I must see to it that you obtain the happiness old Hartwell would have wanted for you. I hope I'm not being too forward. Quite the contrary, Mr. Worthington. I'm sure Mediocre is grateful for your concern as I am. My dear Miss Hartwell, I'm sure you know that the way to secure happiness is by marrying a kind gentleman with the means to provide for you. Just line them up for me, honey, and I will date them all. I do not say this to belittle your intelligence, but to stress the importance of this point. Am I gonna be, but what of love? No, I'm gonna say he must be handsome too. Let's channel our inner Lydianne. An advantage to be sure, but by no means a requirement. In order to achieve your future happiness, there are certain accomplishments a lady must possess. You are a gentleman's daughter, and you must embody that in every way, be it in your attire, talents, or intellect. You have grown into a handsome young woman, but you must not neglect your skills in the arts, in cultivating a fine and sensitive mind. That is true. We have not been practicing our skills, and they're all zero. Don't be so harsh on her, for the poor child has just lost her father, as you've lost a husband. I am sure she will change her ways and begin polishing her accomplishments. Hint received. We shall. Yeah, okay. Now, Mrs. Hartwell, Mrs. Worthington, and I have decided to host the first dinner upon our return to Castridge Court. That's where they live. Cool. For a small gathering of my most intimate acquaintances. We'd be honored and delighted if you and Miss Hartwell could join us. Okay, we'll be there. Think not of it. I'm afraid we must return to Castridge Court now, as there is much to be done after such a long absence. Yes, thank you for your concern. I will remember it. I will take your hints. Thanks guys for the tips. Mr. Worthington is a sensible man and a very old friend of father's. It would be wise to heed his words and work towards becoming the model of an accomplished gentlewoman. And oh my gosh, my skills have changed. Frivolous, sensitive, sensible, spirited, and dutiful. I'm not frivolous. Okay, the I want a handsome husband thing was a bit frivolous, but whatever. I'm still playing the game, still learning, okay? All right. Because we practice drawing a little bit, we're dreadful, not abysmal. So let's see if we can improve some of our other skills. What should we do? Maybe dancing. Why not? All right, 2 dreadful skills. What else is happening? Okay. Should we go for dinner? Ooh, is that the mystery man? What's happening here? Ice cream. Popular ice cream flavor. Oh, a little quiz. Ooh, mini game. Interesting. Okay, what do we get from this? Maybe we get motivation points to build up our skills. Okay, popular ice cream flavors included, ew, parmesan, asparagus. Are you kidding me? I don't even know what muscadine is. Sounds disgusting. I want to say vanilla strawberry chocolate, but that sounds like a trick. I'm going to say bread flavored ice cream. Let's say tea vanilla bread. Scandalous. Miss Hartwell, Mama would be ashamed and consider sending you to Mrs. Norris for a lesson or 2. Guess I failed the minigame. What's happening in town? Okay. I'm really liking this game. So we need to improve specific skills to unlock chapters for the story. Cool. Needlework. Okay, needlework is my next big thing, but how do I get that point? Oh no. I don't have any skills. And I wasted it on dancing. I can't take it back. Oh no, what do I do? Okay, more mini games to see motivation points rewarded. Oh, I can definitely do with 5 points. Let's play. Why was the white muslin gown such a staple of Regency fashion? I'm going to say all of the above. The delicate white gown was a symbol of luxury and leisure, being easily damaged and difficult to clean. White, symbol of purity and virtue. The light gauzy fabric clung to the body, hinting at the curves beneath. No, that doesn't sound very proper, right? The simplicity of the gown reflected the ideals of pastoral life. Let's say, oh, it is all of the above. The muslin gown was quite the paradox. It was at once virtuous and scandalous, simple and luxurious. 5 points, baby! Okay, what do I need for this? Reading to level 4. That's going to take a minute. No, I have 5 points. Okay, let's go back. Let's do reading to 4. And let's do needlework. Great. Let's go to town. Do I want to go shopping and run into this Mrs. Norris loudmouth? Or do I want to go with my friend Mary and meet this lady? I don't know. Let's meet the new person. Mr. Mortimer's haberdashery. Oh. I rather think the color of this one would suit your eyes very well. What on earth is that commotion? I beg your pardon, sir, but I'm not at fault. You've ruined my lace, so now you must compensate for the damage. The girl, who cannot be much older than 15, tries to assert herself, but her attempt is cut short. Miss Ashcroft. Miss Ashcroft? Ashcroft was the hot guy that we ran into in the woods, right? Huh. Maybe it's his, daughter or sister. It was in your hands and now it's torn. There's no other explanation. I assure you, sir, I took the utmost care in handling it, and clearly not enough care for it to have been damaged thus. I will not have you abdicate your responsibility. But, sir, I don't want to hear any more. I demand you pay for the damages and leave my shop immediately. Yeah, we're going to butt in right now because he's being very rude. Is reducing your customers to tears good for business, sir? You would not allow the lady a chance to impart her version of the events? Her version of events? What else could there be, apart from a tearful confession of having ripped my lace? Huh. I'm gonna say maybe someone else did it. In any case, I believe the wisest course of action is to hear from the lady herself. Miss Ashcroft? Miss Ashcroft, you have our attention. Thank you. Well, my brother and I decided to venture out today, for the weather's lovely. We are to go for a turn about the woods. As we passed by the town, I saw this haberdashery and entreated my brother to allow me to take a look. You see, I was most curious as to how these fabrics differ from those I usually favor. He obliged me, but as I know he has little interest in such matters, I persuaded him to leave me and pursue his own business for a quarter of an hour. 15 minutes alone, and this guy's already bullying her? Sheesh. Dear Lord, I don't want to hear her life story. You're a jerk. It appears you shall nonetheless. Miss Ashcroft, please continue. Well, the lace here is quite admirable and would be a lovely addition to my collection. As I was browsing, I noticed this particular piece to be a little dusty. This prompted me to brush it off, thus revealing its tear, but I assure you I was most gentle, and I did not cause the tear itself. This is nonsense, a pretty little lie to avoid responsibility. Lie or not, you're so rude. Enough! I demand you leave my shop, Miss Hartwell, and you, I demand you pay for the lace and leave. Oh, at that moment, a set of assured footsteps enters the shop, causing Miss Ashcroft to inhale sharply and make her way towards the newcomer. He has not uttered a word, and yet he commands the attention of the entire shop. What is the meaning of this? Definitely a love interest. His voice is soft like Miss Ashcroft's, yet there's a steel edge to it that belies his authority. This lady here, sir, ruined my wares and lied about it. Ellie? I did not, I promise I did not. I had not. It was already ruined, and I did not. The lady is clearly distressed, for I believe she's not used to lying, though there's always a first time for everything. Mr. Ashcroft appears to be searching for a dignified resolution that would not cause the elder Mr. Mortimer's business any harm. Let's jump in and help him. Let's threaten to tell his dad. Surely Miss Ashcroft cannot be responsible for the declining quality of your wares since you stepped in last month. Perhaps I should have a word with your father. Suddenly flustered. Excuse me a moment. Mr. Mortimer promptly hurries into the back of the shop. I'm very grateful for your assistance. Ellie, do you suppose your acquaintance might be amenable to an introduction? Well, if you would not object, Miss... Mediocre Hartwell at your service. Miss Hartwell, I hope you'll allow me to introduce my brother. Ew, that's so forward. Mr. Ashcroft, I'm glad to make your acquaintance. I'm definitely not going to throw myself at the guys, so I'll just say, nice to meet ya. It's a pleasure, Miss Hartwell. Mr. Ashcroft gives you a rather long look, though you can't imagine what he must be thinking. After a moment, he turns back to his sister. Shall we, Ellie? After the Ashcrofts have left, conversation in the haberdashery resumes, this time to speculate about the unexpected events. You can't help me. You can change your attitude. That's about it. She's giving like Audrey Hepburn, right? Like a teenage Audrey Hepburn. She's so cute. What are these quote marks? Another little game. Mr. Knightley after proposing. If I loved you less, I might be able to talk about it more. But you know what I am. You hear nothing but blank from me. Truth? Let's say truth. I know Mr. Knightley is a character from Emma, but it's been so long I don't remember a quote from the book. There we go. 7 points. Wow, we are going to be so accomplished. Okay, so that is the vibe of this game. I'm really enjoying it so far, and I'm looking forward to playing more and discovering all the love interests and bagging all of them as is my style. So our traits are now frivolous, sensitive, sensible, spirited, witty. We need to get rid of this frivolous thing. I made one comment about hot guys, and now it's following me into the next chapter. Sheesh. I'm not going to spend all my motivation points in one place yet, because there are a couple of things we need to check out. Let's see. Castridge Court, we need to meet this new person. We need to go back to town and shop. And we need to go to Thornley. Oh, the Ashcroft's residence. Okay. Well, thanks for watching if you did, and join me as we enjoy more Regency romance in this pretty awesome mobile game. See you later.